We're really sorry to interrupt your holiday, but we've got an important message. We are reporting on the teacher and support staff accept, reject ballots about pay and funding, and the teachers reballot on further strike action.
First, the accept, reject ballots. We're really pleased that the turnout was nearly 60% amongst teachers and nearly 50% amongst support staff. And in both, an overwhelming 6 out of 7 members voted to accept. So we will not call any more strike action about the current round on pay and funding.
But it's also really important to say that we could have called more action because you also voted in big numbers in the teacher reballot, passing the government's thresholds for the second time. Our support staff ballot closes on the 11th of August. We'll announce that result in a fortnight.
Now, we are the biggest union ever to pass these ballot thresholds, and now our teacher members have done so twice. And it's really important for the government to pay attention to this now and in the future. If the Prime Minister hadn't thought that you would pass the thresholds again, then there's no way he would have moved on pay and funding the way he has in the past month.
But we want to say to you that our emotion about this is not at all one of gratitude to the government. They could and should have settled this matter earlier. They could and should have offered more. Instead, our emotion is pride in you. Pride in the stand you took in voting for industrial action, in taking that action, in joining picket lines as many support staff did as well, and taking part in our demonstrations.
Yes, it was your actions that got the government to move. And now we are pleased you voted to accept, because it's our judgment that we wouldn't be able to escalate action enough to get more than 6.5% out of this government this time around. And failure to do that would have left the union weaker, not stronger.
But that doesn't mean, in our judgment, that you can't move them further in the future. Next year's pay round is a whole other argument, and the NEU has many more members and many more reps than it did at the start of this year.
So the government should listen to our arguments on teacher and support staff recruitment and retention and on school funding, and it should go further on a correction on teacher pay in next year's pay round, and it should increase school funding again.
Remember that the pay award in September 2024 will only be a month or so before a general election. There will be huge pressure on the government, and we believe that you can move them again.
We have been so proud of being General Secretaries of the National Education Union, and never prouder than this year, when you have really shown the power of the union. In October, the NEU got the government to put in an extra £2 billion into school funding because we threatened to relaunch the School Cuts website.
In November, the NEU got the government to drop the school's white paper, which threatened to academise all schools by 2030.
In January, NEU members voted in such huge numbers that we passed the threshold, shocking the government. And then in February, March, April, May and July, you kept taking strike action, which shocked the government even more.
And this year, the NEU has also launched our campaign on free school meals and our commission into inspection for a better alternative to Ofsted.
But most of all, the NEU took action. You took action. On Budget Day on March the 15th, you filled the streets of London with the biggest union demonstration for decades.
This is a year of real achievement for the NEU, real achievement for you. It's a year that you can build on in the future. It's a year to be proud of. It's a year to be proud of your part in.
And we particularly want to thank the NEU's dedicated school reps for all they've done, and to invite others to volunteer to become reps for our great union.
And don't forget to ask new staff to join the NEU in September. And our last words, Mary and I wish you all a great holiday and the very best wishes for the future. Thank you very much.